All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Gold, as you all know. Now, welcome to Corporate Radio and Television Station where they given a back-to-back as they happen, as they shell out for the Obodo, Nigeria. Still on still, on the political analysis and Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, most especially on the National Assembly duty where they shell on top this matter of our Nigerian policy. All right, still on still, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, try as much as possible, may take, but you can make yourself in the suburb for this time. If you hear the update where they shell it for the Obodo, Nigeria. Still on still, Dr. Barrister Danley don't come about, don't expose this deep secret behind the Senate president and the National Assembly as a whole. That the secret between them and the president, which is the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that has led to them approving quick approbation of borrowed money. In fact, the reason why this whole money, where the money they enter, where the money they go, and who don't share the money among themselves, the secret don't come up. And Barrister Darlington has come to the podium to expose this matter. The video will shock you. Watch them. You go know, say these people has no plan for this country, even for the future, the children unborn. Watch the video.
Now, Barrister, there's a bigger question, a bigger issue out there. Nigerians are just asking, you know, and if these borrowings, do they have anything to do with funding the 2027 general election, which promises to be very stiff and competitive? Barrister, do you think in that direction? What do you think?
It's not about thinking, it is obvious. Mr. Okoro, it is obvious because in our electoral system, we don't monitor expenses. We don't. Electoral expenses, we don't monitor it in Nigeria. It's only in Nigeria that the president of this country is synonymous with the commissioner, the minister of finance and the governor of CBN. It's only in this country. From Buhari, we saw what happened, that there had to be a probe on CBN to discover what Buhari did with Emefiele. So what makes you think that this president will not do worse? No, tell me. What makes you think that this president will not do worse? You can see. So, money is being taken without appropriation. We have a number of...
Without appropriation, we saw the request. The president on his own went to the National Assembly to make this request, and requests were it's under consideration. So how do you say that there is no appropriation? Please. He's not just saying, IMF, give me money and all of that. He passes it through the National Assembly, through the legislature, the Senate and the House of Representatives. What else should he have done?
After the approval, who monitored the what?
But at least there's an approval, there's appropriation.
The implementation.
Barrister, at least there's appropriation.
Well, if you appropriate what will not benefit the country or the people of Nigeria, of what use is that money? If you told me you are going to construct a road with a so amount of money, and I said, okay, fine, construction of road is okay. Oh yeah, go ahead, I'll take the money and now approve. And you now take that money to fund your election. Mr. Okoro, what kind of appropriation is that? Have this National Assembly ever monitored what the executive are doing?
Barrister, does it worry you that the National Assembly that we are talking about has never questioned any request made by the president?
Oh, so you just questioned me now. Remember, you just questioned about appropriation. Those things are small.
But these are two different things.
Yes,
there's one thing for the president to, by executive fiat, borrow money. Is another for him to pass through that process. It is the process that we are questioning.
Those ones are.
Does it worry you that the National Assembly has never ever rejected any of his?
It does not just worry me. It pains me. It pains me that we have a National Assembly that doesn't know their duty. It pains me so much. Look at all the way they approve money that this executive present to them without asking question. In a Senate claim, there should be detailed explanation and detailed monitoring of this money. Because this is public funds. It's not your money. It's not your money, so it should be monitored to the last kobo. That is why you are heavily indebted. Because most of this money, they are not tied to a project that will bring returns. It's mostly for what? Selfish pursuit, selfish interest.
But Barrister, when you talk about not tied to project, the 21.5 billion naira, we understand, will be used to, aside from cushioning the adverse effect of the first subsidy removal, will also be used to pay off pension arrears owed pensioners in Nigeria. So now the question is, what happens to the contributory pension that people
really
sign on to?
Thank God you are asking me this question. Mr. Okoro, the last time you and I checked, that money is over 23 trillion naira. That pension contributory pension fund, over 23 trillion. You mean when they borrowed it, they frittered away the money? They started thinking of borrowing that money when Fashola was the Minister of Works and all that. We kicked against it, say no, don't touch that money. I told the pensioners that if they take your money, don't come here and cry, you. Go to court and ask them not to touch that money. Now look at it, the money is gone. Mr. Okoro, that money is gone. That's why they had to go and borrow money. And the land is about 65 billion naira. Look at 65 billion and 20 trillion. Look at, it's not even up to 100 billion. No. So you want to go and borrow money to pay off that kind of minute debt. Meanwhile, the contributing pension is over 23. So where is the money? Mr. Okoro, we're supposed to ask Tinubu and this federal government, where is that pensioners' money? Where are they? You can see now.
Barrister, should we ask former president? Must it be Tinubu? Was it under his watch that the 23 trillion was?
Is APC administration?
Okay.
His APC, they should explain to us before they go and start borrowing money.
How about President Jonathan?
No, you can't mention. He was the one that set up that pension fund. He was the one. Yeah.
And he didn't borrow any money?
He didn't, but no, he didn't. Okay. The money now grew to that amount I mentioned to you now. And APC, they don't want to see money anywhere. Whenever they see money, their eye will be popping out to go and steal it. They don't, savings is not in their dictionary. Remember when this same Jonathan saved money in the sovereign wealth fund? It was APC that said, bring the money, share the money. You don't have any right to save federation account money. Today, look at where we are. There is something about this particular party and the way they behave. Their policies are upside down. They are not thinking of tomorrow, Mr. Okoro. That is why whenever I hear Tinubu say that he's doing all this for the future of the, I say, which future? The future that you have already frittered away. You have already frittered away the future of the youth with this debt you are piling on their head. I keep asking myself, you mean with all the resources Nigeria have, we cannot have a creative way of making money without borrowing money? This lackadaisical approach.
We'll come to prescriptions. Now, Barrister, how will the government borrow? Because in the $21.5 billion that was submitted, we saw some will I say funny, but some line items like borrowing to finance girl child education, borrowing for job creation, borrowing for community resilience, and all of those things. Barrister, are you able to explain any of those things? How will you borrow money? Do you borrow money to create jobs? At least, are you going to build industries? Are you going to build factories or what? How are you going to borrow money to? Can you help us understand?
When I told you that these guys are playing pranks with you, you didn't believe me, Abi. All this you mentioned, is it not pranks? Childish pranks for that matter. How can a government borrow money for this kind of frivolous project? I mean, frivolous. Frivolous project. Can you just imagine? Under your watch, 7.2 million businesses closed down in Nigeria. 7.2 million businesses. You know, I see they are operating on 50% or 40%. They just closed down completely. Close shop. Please, which amount of money will you borrow to revive those number of businesses? Which amount of money are you going to borrow? Instead of you to create a enabling environment that will make these businesses thrive. All these charges, all this power, most of them even close down because they can't pay electricity bill. And they don't have money to put on solar power like Afro did. So these are the things that this government is supposed to be looking inward, thinking about it. But they want to go. That money will go into a bottomless pit. And I'm not joking. You don't borrow money to operate in this type of environment. Remember when ASU told the federal government that you don't give a student loan in a battered economy? Is that not what they told the federal government? And that's the fact. It's not enough for you to say, yeah, go and pay school fees. Other things that follow the school fees income, what happened to them? They are not there. Feeding alone, feeding. That is why some people borrowed that money, but they couldn't continue their academic session. They couldn't. So what have you done? So what have you done? It's like somebody who went to the market, say he want to cook food for his family. He bought everything, came back to the house. Because of high cost of gas, he couldn't cook that soup. Of course, kerosene is not to the reach of anybody. Is that not that particular item that will make that food to be on your table for you to eat it? Meanwhile, it is not available. So can you just imagine how these people do it upside down?
Barrister, will you have any problems if the federal government borrows money to revive Ajokuta and Alaja Steel? Will you have any problems?
In fact, if they do that at the minute, in fact, I will clap for them here. But they will not do it.
Why?
Because, no, the gain is not immediate. I said this government, they are very good. Borrow and share. Borrow and share. If they tie that money to that Jokuta Steel Complex, you know it's not a day matter. In fact, the reconstruction alone will take the administration, will take the lifespan of this administration. So they will not wait to collect the dividends. That is why such project they don't want to look into it, Mr. Okoro.
Barrister, when you talk about borrow and share, this administration, the first thing they did when they came in was to borrow 200 billion naira. And the first thing, another thing they did was, out of that 200 billion, they said, National Assembly members, take 70 billion naira to retrofit your wardrobe.
Exactly.
Now, another one was like NJC, take $40 billion. Barrister, was that a warning? Was that a red flag?
That is
and
it.
Why didn't Nigeria?
I cried out, I said it. In fact, I lamented about it. Mr. Okoro, on this particular media house, I said it, that this is trouble coming.
And between then and now, how much has changed?
It has galloped. Have you not lost count? Are you still counting? How much that have been frittered away? On what? Selfish interests. Why the judiciary? So that they will protect them during the electoral matters that come before them. Have you not been seeing the results? Have you not been seeing the results of that money they gave the judiciary? These are the things that Tinubu is doing. When I tell you that nobody is thinking of the future of this country, it's all about immediate gain. Immediate gain that will cause us problem later. You can see. That is what they're after. Unfortunately, nobody is asking questions. Nobody is protesting. Whatever they tell you, you agree. You can have some people that celebrate that particular coastal road. And I'm telling you, Mr. Okoro, if you finish East-West Road, that have been there from Obasanjo also, if you finish that road today, whatever you want to do with this coastal road, that East-West Road will multiply it 100 times and provide it with whatever.
Work is ongoing on the East-West Road.
What is ongoing, Abi?
Yes,
ongoing. Mr. Okoro, where is the money? Why not finish one before you back on another one? This thing that Tinubu is ego. Ego. Nothing else. Ego pursuit. 750 kilometers of road. Have you imagined how long?
Isn't that a legacy project?
Sorry?
Isn't it a legacy project?
League what? Look, in economy,
there's a road that cuts through 9 states of the federation.
The same thing
from one end of the country to
the
other.
same thing with East-West Road. Listen very well. In economy, there's something you call scale of preference. You and I know that this road is not as important as that of the East-West Road. You know very well, you know. So why are we trying to force it? Why can't finish? There are so many roads in this country today that are begging for attention. I mean, begging. If you finish them, will it not be to your credit? No, but you want to say, yes, I'm the one that started this thing. That Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road.
You just raised an important issue now. This Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, does it look like some form of duplication? Because some of the states involved
it will look for process, exactly.
So
yes, that's what I'm telling you. Oh my God. So you are not listening to me, Abi? It will say cross the same states. You now ask yourself, what is the duplication all about? All because of ego. Let it be me. Yes, Tinubu did this, Tinubu did. Meanwhile, he will not finish any of them.
What is the role of the South? What is gain? What is the place of the Southeast in all of this? From Badagry to Sokoto, Southeast is cut off. From Lagos to Calabar, Southeast is cut off. So, and there is no road that is saying, look, from
Lagos to East, except this one that what's it called? Military men and custom have taken over. You saw how difficult it takes now for people to travel from Lagos to the East now. Even the rail project, which of them
was also cut off.
Good. When you mention India, some gullible people will not even understand what we are saying. They say, yes.
Does it have to do with the leadership of the South? It's because when we raise the issue, I'm sorry, when we raise the issue on the morning show, now Dele Fanimo, who comes from the Southwest, clearly said that, look, when Ameti proposed the railroad that goes from the west to the east, that Ondo State was not part of it. And people of Ondo State, including himself, made presentations to the minister, and they had to reroute it to pass through Ondo State. In all of this, have you seen Southeast leaders go to the federal government and say, look, why are you cutting us off? Has that happened?
Mr. Kuru, they have.
Okay.
Even the gas pipeline, remember, they equally have. They are putting up a presentation. But because of the way they have seen the Southeast from the creation of this contraction called Nigeria.
So it's more like you are saying it's intentional.
It's deliberate. Mr. Okoro, deliberate. Look at Nnamdi Kanu. Anything that has to do with it, don't you see how they handle it? No, tell me. Is there anything we have not done concerning Nnamdi Kanu? No, tell me. Our leaders. Is there any from Buhari to Tinubu? Is there any presentation we have not made?
All right, Barrister, we are questioning.
All right, welcome back from that wonderful clip of Dr. Darlington, Barrister Darlington. You see, on top of this matter, I don't want to say too much because, you see, this country, we like what they call a good year, and we sabi lie to ourselves. And most Nigerians believe in lies. now I don't open to see the reality. Say when the heat don't burn us, we don't feel heavily. Now everybody don't voice out one after the other. During good Lord Jonathan, where was Barrister Darlington? Even though he was a man of transparency, I'm always say they talk the reality, and it don't come out again now. But the question is, what is the way forward? Because 2027 election is coming. Waiting won't happen. How we want to dethrone these people where they suburb of this country? We don't turn the country upside down. Turn the Nigerian constitution upside down. That the politics is no longer functioning. What is the way forward? Now with the thing where would they act? Nobody say make everybody just they talk, the blah 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 blah. How do we dethrone this man? May they come out so that the vehicle of this country go feel suburban. I see they talk until we look into the INEC system before Nigeria go better. Until we restructure, we command those bad egg. They're to meme kumede. Now this country go move forward. So about this junction, I want to put you on my mouth. Make you be like say, now let me ping.
Ọmọ ní ìfowó ṣe ni, ọmọ ní ìfowó ṣe ni. Bóyá sanwó mi, kò bá tètè sanwó mi.